All right, hello friends. If you paid attention to our channel and were following us in the fall of 2020, we had an awesome controlled hunt in southern Idaho. I drew a tag and our pastor drew a tag, and it was kind of the hunt of a lifetime, especially for my pastor. And we ended up killing 2 really nice bulls. So stay tuned and watch this. But if you were paying attention to the channel, we posted a video and then we took it down last fall. And that was because we unknowingly at the time had violated an Idaho game and fish rule. When we get to that point in the video, we're going to stop it and explain exactly what happened. This video is slightly edited from the original video because we didn't want to show what what did happen in real time in a production environment. We're not trying to be dishonest, we're trying to be totally transparent. So I'm going to read the regulations and show you exactly what happened and explain what we did. But more to come on that. Enjoy this episode.
We are out on the range 2 days before season, so we're just shooting, kind of getting fine-tuned. Pastor's never shot a muzzleloader before. Now he's shot 2 times. His last shot was right in the sweet spot, so we made a little bit of tweak with the open sights, and now we are ready to shoot the 3rd shot, and we're right at 100 yards. But what I wanted to show you, again, we're shooting the Traditions Pursuit, and we're going to be shooting the Hornady Great Plains bullet, and we're also going to be utilizing a new sight from Williams Gun Sight. They came out with a new front sight, rear sight combination for the non-optics, non-scope type hunting states such as Idaho. So as you see, this is the really unique. You get 6 options with the front globe, so to speak, and so you're gonna have multiple point of aim, so you can sight it in for 100, then you can drop down to the second dot or dash and maybe have it dialed in so you know where you're hitting at 150. That's kind of what we're doing right now. So with that being said, we're gonna have Pastor Jeff shoot the 3rd shot. We're gonna see what it does after I made that one little tweak. Then we'll extend out to say 150 yards and see what happens.
I've been in the darkness for 40 days. I've been searching for holy flames, a sign to light up the way. So can you help me out? Can you help me out?
Yards away. If I ranged him right. .930. We got a pretty good bull, 930 yards away. Dad spotted him. It looks like he's by himself. So got to be killable, but we're gonna watch him and see where he goes and see if he beds down in a specific area. He's on a pretty narrow point. So he could go down or over, and then he'd be out of sight. So we got to keep an eye on him, see which way he goes. It's pretty easy to let go 15 seconds, and all of a sudden he's gone. So we got to keep an eye on him. We're like first 20 minutes of daylight, first 10 minutes of daylight.
Yeah. He's pretty alert. And the wind's not perfect. It's like we'd have to go below him and then come up on him.
Well, it's 8:30. We've lost sight of the bull. Kept an eye on him. He's pretty sure we know where he's going to be bedding down in terms of the general area, but we haven't seen him right now. So we're kind of just holding tight and seeing what happens. Beautiful day. We haven't seen any other elk. We've seen 2 mule deer, a rancher on a horse, and some beef cattle. That's about it.
Well, he's 800 to 900 yards away. He's one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. One of the bigger ones, at least when I've had a gun in my hands.
He seems to be all by himself.
Yeah.
Definitely by himself. A little bit wary, it seems. He's really paying attention to things.
He's in such thick scrub right now. He's kind of impossible to get to without making noise. A smart bull, so we gotta be smarter.
That's tough for us to do. We gotta really sit here and ponder that.
We're at a standstill, a mental standstill.
And he's just bedding down.
He's in the bed just.
Yeah.
Midday update. Casey and his pastor just walking down below. They dropped off this rock ledge, worked their way down into this bottom just off my right shoulder, a couple 300-400 yards. There's a wallow. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm gonna stay up high where I can see that bull.
Alright, we're here waiting at the water hole. It's really hot. It's about 1 o'clock. The wind's pretty swirly, but we'll see. Luck's on our side.
Casey and pastor sat down in that wallow from 3 o'clock till 5 o'clock. And now they're going to work their way up into that brush, toward that brush where the big bull was. So it's kind of go time.
Alright, it's 4:30. We've been sitting over this water hole. Nothing came in. So that big bull that we saw this morning is about 500 yards directly over that hill. We're going to ease up to him and see if we can spot him in his bed, or we'll see what happens. It's been kind of a lazy day. Been sitting almost the whole day. Upper 70s for sure. Sun's beating down. Pastor came out here scouting right in this water hole that we're sitting over 7 days ago. There was a 6 point. Not a huge 6 point, but a pretty solid 6 point. So if it doesn't work out with this bull, right now, our plan is to come back for the last hour of daylight and sit over this. So we'll see what happens. 80 yards from where we last saw him. Pastor's on the other side of him. We've got the bull. I'm on one. He's on one side and I'm on the other. We'll see what happens. Pastor's in a really good spot. If he goes back to where he came from this morning, he's right where Pastor. Fingers crossed. I've got my pack off. I'm going stealth mode. I probably won't get anything on film because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen fast.
I can't believe it, but there's going to be some rejoicing in camp because the big bull is down. Pastor just shot the biggest bull of his life. Oh boy, I am so stoked for him. He has 8 children, devout family man, doesn't get the opportunity to go out and do this type of stuff much. And so he's killed a couple small bulls, and now he's just put a big bull on the ground. The big bull that we videoed this morning is now dead.
I took my pack off, so I had to go all the way back 500 yards to get my pack. I took Pastor out last year, and he shot a 3x3 mule deer, and I got all teary and afterwards because it was just it was a moving thing because Pastor serves others and he takes his kids out hunting and others in the church hunting, and he doesn't often get to hunt for himself, and so for him to be able to do this and kill that bull is it's a special thing. Everybody associated with hooked hunting is we are Christians, believers in Jesus Christ, and we try not to preach too much, and because you're here for hunting, but we're also going to be genuine to who we are, and it's a goal of ours to be able to take somebody that's involved in ministry once a year, or somebody who's never done it before, and just serve other people. And it was just a privilege to be a part of this, and I'm going to go and be part of the joy of it and celebration of it. But I wanted to say this at this moment because it's a special moment. But we put the squeeze on him. I was on one side and he was on the other, Pastor was, and the bull was directly in the middle. I don't know if he got Pastor's scent or if he heard me. I actually dropped my gun on a flipping boulder, and it was pretty loud, so I might have spooked him dropping my gun. He spooked to me. He was 80 yards standing, but he was standing in brush, and it was just one of those things, classic moment of pastor's coming. Just one more step, and I could have shot. It was through brush and with these muzzleloaders and a deflection. I didn't want to take the risk. He ended up spooking and running straight away, and I cow called, and he turned back and looked. A split second away from going off, he started running again. So then I thought it was all for naught. In the middle of all that, pastor snuck down and got within range of him and shot him as he was trotting away. His third on his left side, but just a super pretty bull, really big body. Opening day is so awesome. The sun's going down. Unbelievable, Pastor. Oh.
Shot a couple raghorns. Never shot anything of any size, and don't get a lot of time to get out in the field to go after something like this because most times I am taking my kids hunting. I've seen bulls like this, but never been able to have a rifle in my hand or go after them. Never shot a muzzleloader in my life until 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 3 days ago. So muzzleloader, Idaho. This is, in my opinion, a bull of a lifetime. I haven't even stopped to think what he would score, but in my book, I don't need a score. He's an awesome bull. I got to sit there and watch him wallow. He was a 6x6, and I'd have been thrilled to have him. This one dwarfs him. Really, I don't even know how you put it into words, but thank the Lord and praise the Lord for his blessings.
All right, today is day 2. Pastor killed that nice bull. We got it cut up and we got back to the truck. It was just after midnight. We rolled into the tent and truly just crashed. So now we're up at daybreak here and back to the rigs. You'll see we got the motorcycle, got the ATV loaded up, and so now we're gonna get started on day 2. All right, so we are at destination meat stash. Got the antlers, we got the meat stashed. We left a couple stinky t-shirts, underlayers, to deter any wild animal. So now Casey's bringing down the first bag of meat. So we're real happy. I've never utilized an ATV motorcycle to retrieve game, but this is gonna save us some steps and time and some back pain. That was well done, eh, Pastor?
That was great work together.
Yeah.
Pastor left right after lunch, very proud, as he should be. So Dad's gonna be north of me, and I'm gonna drop down into what I think is some water and see what the activity's like. If there's a bunch of elk activity, I might hang out there for a couple hours, 3 o'clock. But then I'm gonna work my way towards him, and then he'll be glassing, and I'll be sneaking along the bottom more than likely, if it's conducive to that. All right, stop right there. All right, so after Pastor shot his bull, he left for the afternoon. He could not wait. He could not wait to get back to his family, so he left. So Dad and I took a little nap and rested at camp, and I was fiddling around with my muzzleloader, and I had bought a particular attachment that was supposed to potentially go on my walking stick, and I used a different attachment. So I had an extra attachment that I was just I didn't have anything to do with. And you can see it right on my gun right now. And it's this. It's basically a jumbo zip tie that has an attachment with a pivot head for a camera. And so potentially it was supposed to go on the top of my walking stick. And that afternoon I was just looking at my muzzleloader and looking at this and saying, I think this is big enough to fit on my muzzleloader, and it's not going to be in my way of my peep sight. I can have it off to the side, which I tried it and it worked, and it did. So when I was sitting at a water hole, my plan was to put this on my gun for just a different camera angle or another camera angle. And so that's exactly what happened. When we posted the video, the original video, somebody commented about it and said it broke regulations and rules, which I can't really believe, or I mean, I don't have an excuse, but I can't believe I didn't think of it prior to that, because I know the rules that you can't have anything electronic attached to your weapon. But that was always in the context of a lighted sight, electronic lighted sight, or something along those lines. So, you know, archery hunting, you can't have, in Idaho, you can't have a battery that lights up your sights, which is a relatively common thing with sights these days, is to have a little battery that you can twist and it lights up the fiber optics. But anyways, we're not going to get into the validity of the rule, or if it's a bad rule or good rule or not. It's just, it is a rule, and I broke the rule unknowingly. Broke the rule. Somebody commented. We took the video down. We didn't want any negative ramifications from anybody associated with us or reputation. So we took it down. We got into contact with Game and Fish, told them exactly what happened, and so they were very gracious to me. They gave me a written warning. I didn't get a ticket, but it was all taken care of. But just for clarity's sake, so everybody knows, it's kind of a public service announcement. This is the rule as written. In any hunt, including any weapon season, it is unlawful to pursue or kill big game animals, and there's a number of rules, but here's the rule relevant, with any electronic device attached to or incorporated in the firearm or scope, except scopes containing battery-powered or tritium-lighted reticles are allowed, which wasn't the case in my situation. And for archery, with any electric or tritium-powered devices attached to an arrow, bolt, or bow, except disabled archery permit holders may use a non-magnifying sight with battery-powered or tritium-lighted reticles. So I hope this was a help. It was honestly my honest mistake. It didn't really help me in the killing of that bull, and that was a lot of the reason why the Game and Fish didn't really they weren't super interested in giving me a ticket. They said it didn't help you at all. It was an honest mistake. You showed it on the video, so you weren't trying to hide anything. So this right here is our honest attempt to make the best of not the best situation. So we did update the original video slightly because we didn't want to show the camera on the rifle, because that would be technically breaking Game and Fish rules. So we took that part out, but right now you can see the attachment to see what happened. But we're just trying to be transparent and honest with that mistake, and hopefully serve as somewhat of a public service announcement for you. Idaho, you can't have essentially anything electronic attached to your weapon of any, whether that's archery or gun hunting, which is kind of a bummer if you're going to try to do self-filming. I don't know if you watch Solo Hunter, but they do a lot of hunting in Idaho. Tim is from Idaho, and that makes it a lot harder when you can't have a camera attached to your weapon. I know for archery hunting in the Midwest, there's a lot of people who are having cameras attached to their stabilizer, or there's even cameras built into your stabilizer, and that's all really cool stuff. I would, to be honest, to be totally frank, I wish those things were legal in Idaho. Just from a filming perspective, it takes away a lot of opportunities. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this. You're about to pretty soon have another bull down, and stay with us. Thanks.
Drop Casey off for the afternoon hunt to do some scouting, really looking for possibility of what we do in the morning, and we may get something going that we can get onto this evening. So I'm gonna skirt some private property and get around, and then get over to the north, get on a high spot and do some glassing. We'll see what happens. Pretty excited. About a mile away, maybe a mile and a half, is a pond, according to Onyx. We'll see, but that's what we're hoping for Golden Elk, because there's not a ton of cover, but it's really landlocked, so nobody's gonna go back here except for if you're crazy. Almost 2.5 days of hunting, we've seen one elk, and what I thought were a lot of elk tracks yesterday were probably all cattle tracks. But this is the first fresh elk track we've seen in a fair amount of time. And it's going towards where we're going, towards the water. So first of many tracks we see headed to that water hole. We're on our water hole. There's elk tracks in it. Wind's perfect for more the elk come. Just a matter of if they're gonna come today or not. How many hours do we got to sit till dark? 7.5. I foresee several naps. That is painful. I only wish we had more snacks to eat.
We got elk on the move, and I'm leaving the water hole, believe it or not. I just heard a bull bugle down below me. Well, we'll sort out the details later if this all works out. I'm headed down to the elk. Cut him off.
Casey just shot. I'm not even believing what I'm hearing, but Casey just killed a bull. There was 3 big bulls, and he just hammered one.
There was 3 bulls. I think the herd bull is down below. He just groaned. He's been groaning and growling. And then there was 2 bulls running and chasing each other, and I think they were satellite bulls. And I think I shot the bigger of the 2 satellite bulls, because after I shot the other satellite bull, I assumed satellite bulls, came running down. My bull ran 50 yards. He stood there a while breathing hard. I could hear him breathing. And then I shut the camera off and reloaded. About 2 minutes later, he tipped over. So I'm watching him right now. Wow, that happened so fast. What a blessing. We had a guy come down and talk to us on a side-by-side. Very nice guy, and he was bummed that he messed us up, but we talked, and then he left. Since he had just been there, I knew no elk were going to come in right away, so I went uphill to get a better vantage point, just to get a better lay of the land. And Dad stayed at the water hole. I had to poop. I had no toilet paper. I ended up wiping with sticks, but I couldn't go anywhere, so I pooped up there. I pulled my pants up, I turn around, and I look across the hill 400 yards away, and there's a bull coming downhill on the other side of the wallow. We got with Dad, and he went back up so he could have a visual, and I went back down to the water hole. And then I heard bull bugle down here, so I was like, all right, I'm headed down there, because the bottom that the bull that I saw was in was, and then separate bottom, and there's another water source down there. So I was like, I'm gonna try to head him off. So I'm heading down there, and then the bull bugles, and then chaos breaks loose, because I think the bull I shot and the other bull was trying to get in the herd, and he was chasing him off. So that herd bull fired up. That bull's dead. So he starts to take a step, and I start to just slowly raise up, and I don't know if he's smelled me or just saw the movement a little bit, but then he started to go downhill, so I cow called. And so I'm my cow called, and he stopped, and it was a real rush shot. I mean, it was a quick shot, and boom, and no idea if I hit him or not, but he ran off, and then I could tell he was just standing there. And then the second bull, the satellite bull, had actually crossed the trail and got ahead of me. He ran across. I think I shot the bigger of the 2 satellite bulls.
Right.
I think. He kept running, but then the bull, I never heard my bull leave, and I could hear him breathing. So then I reloaded, and then he fell a couple minutes later. So, and then the herd bull was, what I assume is the herd bull was just down there, just roaring. And
I heard him 6 times after you shot doing that.
Yeah. So I wish I could have saw that herd bull. It might be that 7-point, I don't know, but I shot a mature bull.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was for. I don't know. I have no idea. It happened really quick. I saw his antlers coming, and I could see it was a shooter. So then at that point, I was just about killing him.
Holy moly.
Can't really do anything. I can't lift his antlers up because he'll probably come rolling.
This one smells a whole lot different than pastures.
He stinks.
Yeah. I've never seen one die quite like that.
Yeah.
He was standing there.
I don't know where.
Oh man, you definitely lunged him. Look at the blood in the bushes.
I could,
Yeah. He's got good mass, Casey. Definitely there's no weak points on this beauty.
yeah, his thirds aren't that bad.
No. For Idaho,
His fronts definitely aren't super good.
yeah, but they curl up so nice.
Yeah.
They got a beautiful curl. You and I've muzzleloader hunted together a lot.
Yeah.
And we're running
Done a lot of
inlines,
muzzleloader hunting.
we're running optics, we're running pellets, sable bullets,
Sable bullets, yeah.
everything that's opposed in Idaho. That we're and really most of our shoulder mounts and mounted animals are muzzleloader kills.
Yeah.
And so to get this opportunity to do this and then do it in such a primitive way with loose powder, musket caps, open sights was really neat how it worked out. Because 5 days ago we were struggling.
Yeah.
We were struggling. The guns hadn't made it yet.
Yeah.
And
Came together.
They came together. Pastor had never shot a muzzleloader in his life, and he killed that mature 6-point. And then I think this bull might be 2 years older than that 6-point by looking at how his ivories
His
are.
ivories are way worn down. Yeah.
So we got some work ahead of us.
we're as the crow flies, I think we're 4.5 miles away from where we parked, and there's a lot of up and down between here and there. It'll be some work. Yeah, it'll be some work.
I think my vote is looking for an alternate route.
Yeah, we'll have to get on next to see if there's an alternate route out of here.
Yeah.
But probably the biggest thing, something with Brad a couple weeks ago, and that was
A good friend of yours, best man in
Huge.
each other's wedding.
yeah, high school friend, best friend, and played football together and went to the same church and all that. We did a lot of stuff, and that was just such a cool thing because I got to see him elk hunt for the first time, and that was so cool. But this was a cool hunt to see Pastor kill his bull. But today was really cool. I can't really turn, but today was pretty cool just hunting with Dad, because the days that the days that Dad and I Jeez, I cried when Pastor killed his bull. The days that Dad and I can hunt, just him and I, are going to be few and far between, because we were talking today about my boys that they're 7 years old, our oldest, and they're going to be hunting pretty soon, and there's going to be the opportunity for Dad and I to hunt, just him and I. Isn't going to happen much, and we got to shoot this bull. The only thing I told him when we regrouped, the only thing that would have been better is if he would have been right there with me. So, 2 years, we've killed 2 bulls.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's been good. It's been good. We'll definitely rejoice in this, and watching Casey grow up and just turn into the hunter that he is, and more importantly, a father that he is. It's been just been a real blessing slash encouraging to see, and to have that time in the field today, like he said, we'll look back at this as be one of those days that is just magical.
Yeah.
And I remember when you were probably 16 or 17, and you're literally teaching me things about whitetail hunting. And I'm like, wow, this kid is just engaged, plugged in, applying what he's learned, and now here we sit. You're 37.
Yeah, I think so. 37.
37, and just the animals and experience and the things that we've done together is really special for sure. And we don't take this stuff for granted. And now you moved out to Idaho. I thought I was going to be the first buyer generation out west 3 years ago or so.
Yep.
Out to Idaho, and man, there's just no looking back, and it has been fabulous.
I've had, man, 3.5 years, and I've killed 3 bulls. One with a bow, rifle, and muzzleloader.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yep. We still got a little bit more to
Yeah.
tackle. Our camps probably we're not going to be able to have this solo time with each other.
Yeah.
Most likely, but
No.
this was a great day that will burn in our memory for the rest of our lives.
Well, the sun just went down the horizon, so we're going to take some pictures. It's going to be really good for pictures, and then start cutting up.
Congratulations, Case. I'm happy for you.
Oh, man.
All right, as you can see, we're sitting here right next to Casey's bull that he just shot an hour and a half ago with his muzzleloader. So we're taking pictures, but most importantly is gathering up the meat. And so we're about to start cutting it up and breaking it down and deboning it. And the sun is set, it's gonna be dark, and not often do we get the opportunity to show our headlights what we use, because most of the time it's dark and it doesn't show up on video. But shortly we're gonna be depending on the headlamps, and we've been running the Cyclops by GSM for probably the last 6, 7, 8 years. But they're lightweight, and what I like about them is it takes 3 AAAs, so you get a lot of life out of them. But they're adjustable, they do all sorts of different things, there's different models. But you can have the high beam, low beam, and then a flash, or then you can go when you're sneaking into your tree stand, you can go into the red and the green. And again, it's just, if you don't have a good quality headlamp when you're doing these types of hunts, you're handicapping yourself. And GSM, they're lightweight, inexpensive, and they just work every time you want to pull them out of your pack and put them to work.
Idaho laws, you can't use sabots. This is a great bullet for that type of situation. But the Hornady Great Plains 385 grain, it performed well. Perfect. Not a pass-through, but lodged in the hind, and the bullet mushroomed perfect.
The last day of our hunt was spent sleeping. We pulled Casey's bull off the field, and we got to the crash pad at 4:20, and that's what we did. We just crashed. We woke up at about 8:30. Felt pretty doggone good. So we spent the morning basically buttoning up camp, cleaning everything up, and now we are headed to back to Casey's house. Tomorrow morning, be headed to South Dakota for our next hunt. We're going to do an archery hunt for mule deer or whitetail, and we're going to be joined with Kurt Howard again from Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls, and Nate Height, the filmmaker. Do us a favor. We so much appreciate you watching the videos. Please like, share, subscribe.